Hmm. Now let's see what's going on. You guys hear me? Yes, I did unmute the mic. One of the mics, I'm not sure which one. I got 3 webcams. I turned one of them on anyway. Maybe you can hear me. Excellent. Well, we'll make some improvements to this system. We'll get an actual microphone out here that I can use when we're live streaming. So just to tell everybody what I'm doing, I just wanted to run a test of the live streaming capability now that we've got the computer all set up and everything. What I've been doing over the last week is trying to get this one new torsion wire that I tried to heat treat to settle down and stop moving around. So what you're seeing is the lead weights are really in a neutral position right now. And this thing has just been steadily changing as the wire tries to untwist itself. So actually, I've got some more wire coming. My buddy Lefty over in England has fixed up 4 or 5 pieces of regular steel wire that he's going to send to me. So we'll replace that torsion wire that's in there because this thing is just not behaving right at all. Plus I got some more stainless steel wire, and as soon as I get some phosphoric acid for flux for it, I'm going to try using some of that too. This is the part of the process where you really start playing around to see what you can make, what's going to work the best. But I want to get some decent repeatability, and if I just know that the thing is shifting in a certain direction, a certain amount, then that's a systematic error that we could account for. But right now, it's far too erratic to be dependable, and I wouldn't presume to try to represent that as any kind of accurate test result. So that's kind of where we are. Just reading in the chat here to see what everybody's saying. This is my first live stream, by the way, so I think I turned it on by accident one time. This is the first time I've actually meant to do it. Amazing. No, Mr. Andrett, no. There's not much bounce at all. In fact, let me show you. This thing's been bobbling all over the place. I think it's moving upscale right now, which is on the laser, which is a counterclockwise twist. So let's see if we can help it move a little faster. See if I want to go counterclockwise. I know what I want to do. Let me move the big balls. we go. Oh, I see there's enough delay I could actually see me when I walked back over here. Yeah, that's actually going to rotate it clockwise, correct? That is correct, John. And that's going to make the laser move to the right, actually. But you'll see how gradual this is. And this is really very much like watching paint dry. So, sorry about that. But nothing rapid happens with Cavendish. The oscillation period with this particular wire is about 18 minutes. So let's see, we rotated that at about 6:05, something like that. So at around 6:14 or so, it would have made its maximum movement, but I think this is the direction where the bias has been causing problems. So I'm not sure how much movement we're actually going to see. I'm looking on a small screen too. Yeah, David, I think that's been a concern I've had is the lack of stress relieving. When I've put the original just test wires in there for torsion wires, I didn't do anything to try to stress relieve the wire itself, and it had a clear, very obvious bias to it. So we're going to try to rectify all that before we actually get into doing a series of for real tests with this thing. And if Roger, 18 minutes is correct, and there is very little damping. Taking it all the way to equilibrium could take 10 or 12 hours. I'd really rather not do that. It would be better if we can average the peaks, just like Cavendish did. And I think that's the direction I want to try to head with this thing. But we're going to have to do a little bit more experimenting with it. I'm sure as Henry Cavendish did, to try to learn the characteristics of this thing. After all, it's just an instrument, you know. Oh, look, 51 viewers. Holy cow. You guys really don't have anything to do tonight, do you? I'll be back in a second. You guys amuse yourselves. And I'm back. So again, I apologize to everybody for the audio quality, which I'm sure is horrible. It's just audio, just the mic in one of these webcams. So one thing I got to do, and I'll do it this week, is pick up a for real microphone to go out here. And I want to get this thing set up so that we can go through Discord and actually have some little streams here and have some discussion. So we're really not running a test of any sort. This is really just a test to see if the stream was going to work okay. And apparently it's doing okay. Quick, he's gone. Let's talk about baby ducklings. I saw that. No duck talk going on behind my back now. Yeah, I'm sure it sounds, Barry, I'm sure it sounds like I'm in a booth. Actually, I'm in a garage and there's plenty of echo going on out here. And I don't even know which microphone I turned on, to tell you the truth. I just grabbed whichever one came up and enabled it. So, so it's hard for me to tell on this monitor, but I think at this point we probably are seeing that laser spot move back to the right a little bit. We should have gotten through the first peak of the oscillation. I didn't keep track of exactly what time I moved the large masses into that position. But I'll tell you what we'll do. I think it was around 6:05. So if we add 18 to that, 6:23. I think that would take us back about where we started. Yeah, 6:05-ish. Thanks, Mr. Hendrick. That's what I think. I should have written it down, but didn't. So let's see. Yeah, tell you what we'll do. At 6:23, I'm going to swap positions with the weights. I'm going to rotate them to the other side. And I think then we're going to see some fairly substantial movement of that laser dot. Well, in the scale too, you can see it move, but it's a lot less. There's a factor of 10 involved here, because the dot that you're looking at is 10 feet away from the mirror, which is on the center line of the box. But the actual length of the torsion beam is only 4 feet, so 2 feet from the center point out to one of the small masses. So that's 5 to 1, 10 feet to 2 feet. That's a 5 to 1 advantage. And then we've got the mirror, and that multiplies the deflection by a factor of 2, so about 10 to 1. That means if that dot over there, that laser dot, moves 10 millimeters, the pointer, the actual torsion beam itself only moved 1 millimeter. So it's a really touchy little observation to make. Cavendish must have been absolutely crazy by the time he finished doing this, 17 different times. And he was taking readings, I think, every 30 seconds, something like that. Yeah, Barry. I know all about chemo and his foolishness about having to do it in a vacuum. For what reason, I have absolutely no idea. I can tell you from my point of view, about the very last thing in the world I would want to do is put this thing in a vacuum, because that would eliminate about the only damping factor you have. What a little tiny bit of air resistance that's involved as that beam rotates is the only damping that's in the system. Well, other than just the wire itself. But if you do away with that, this thing already takes a dozen hours at least to stabilize in one position if the wire is not acting crazy like this one is. Take that damping factor away and you might sit here for 2 days to wait on the damn thing to become stable. You're right, Crafty. The reason is to discredit the experiment. That's the only reason. But I'll just keep right on saying it. I don't give a damn what they like or what they want. I'm not doing this for the flat earthers. Hello, PhD Tony. Well, here we go, 6:23. Let's move the balls and see what happens. There we go. $62, 63 people watching this. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. This is my first official live stream, and it wasn't really supposed to be official. It's just a test. I just wanted to see if we could live stream from out here. And it looks like it's going to work. So next I need to get Discord up and running so we can get people into this place, into this chat on a voice basis. Whoops, I don't have any speakers for out here either. Guess I got a few things I need to work on, huh? Tell you, there's always something. Hello, Mippet. Would the movement of the smaller weights have been more rapid with the larger outer masses used by Cavendish. Well, Cavendish used his large masses were around 350 pounds, more or less. So about 7 times as massive as these are. But oddly enough, and this is one of those curious facts about the way gravity works, it's because these things are spherical, we can use the center of the mass, the center of the ball. And these that you're looking at are 6 inches in diameter. Those lead balls that I'm using are 6 inches. Cavendish used balls that were 12 inches in diameter. What he did effectively is he moved the center of masses just about twice as far away as what I have in this case. So since this thing is inverse square related, by doubling the distance, that cut the force to 1/4 as much, comparatively, is what I've got. But it was, he had 7 times the mass too. So what that all amounts to is I end up with about 40% as much force as he had. And certainly his acceleration would probably have been higher. Should have been anyway. But his oscillation period would have been very similar to what I'm using. Because, well, mainly because I forced it to be that way. I want to have about the same, I wanted to have about the same period of oscillation that he had. He had about 14 minutes, and I've got right now at about 18. When I change the wire out to a .007 inch diameter wire, that period is going to increase to about 24 minutes. So that's the price I'm going to have to pay for it. We're just going to have to put up with a longer oscillation period. But that's okay. We can do that. I wonder if any of that bullshit I just said made any sense to anybody. Oh yeah, that's gone down scale quite a bit, hasn't it? Hey, Clive. No, this is the wire, this is the replacement wire that I put in, which is still acting crazy. That thing has never stabilized yet, so I really wasn't trying to run any sort of test on the equipment. I was really just running the stream to see how it was going to work from out here. You guys hear the air conditioner running in the background? I bet you heard that. You just turned on. We got kind of a crazy way of controlling the temperature in here. What I found out works. It's pretty wasteful in the sense of energy consumption, but I found out the better way, since I only have like space heaters, the better way for me to control the temperature is to leave the heaters running a little bit more than they need to, and then let the air conditioner take care of controlling the temperature. It's been a little warmer today. I probably should have turned that air temperature down just a little bit, but I don't care. If I stay around in a 2 or 3 degree Fahrenheit window, that's close enough for me. you can see how far down scale that laser moved after we moved the masses. That's quite a bit. All right, everything seems to be working. You guys can toss any last minute questions you got up in the chat, and I'll try to answer it. But I think we'll call it quits here shortly. As I said, I really wasn't trying to do anything other than just see if the stream was going to work and figure out what else I needed. And the obvious answer is a microphone and some speakers and some instruction about how to tie Discord into all of this. One of you smart guys will tell me how to do that, I'm sure. Well, yeah, Barry, to answer that question, it is reversible. That's what I just did. When you move the weights from one side to the other, you reverse you're simply reversing the direction that you're applying torque to the torsion wire. Now, are you planning to post an update and run another stream then? Yeah. I'll certainly do that. And what my intention will be is to give you guys some notice and figure out a good time to do these streams. I may run some of them during the day, but that's not. It may not be convenient at all for U.S.-based viewers. Might work out great for the guys that are in the southern hemisphere, particularly the guys down in Australia. Middle of the day or early in the morning for you, for that matter, is pretty good for them because it's their evening. But I'm sort of up all hours of the day or night too. It doesn't really matter to me. I can run these things anytime I want to. Let's see, let me do a little quick math. I started at 05, 23, so 641 will be the next peak. Thereabouts. And then you'd be able to kind of compare that to wherever it went on the last oscillation. I think it was up around 250 or something like that. 250, 260, somewhere in that range. No, gently, I am not blowing on the balls. Stop that. There's no egg in this experiment, sorry. Alright, so this is not a test anyway, we're just playing around. I think I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks everybody that showed up, I really appreciate it. And with that, I'll say bye, and we'll get things working a little better and see you again real soon.